Martinique, St. Vincent, all my U.S. Virgin Islands crew, all my Latinos and my Latinas, make some noise.
This girl's going out now. It's a little weird because I'm having my headphones, so the voice and audio is muffled, but I like the subtleness of it. I'm going out, guys. I've been living in the city for a while. If you say a while, 5 years, something like almost 5. And I'm finally actually like being around groups of people more consistently. The first few years here, from like I came December 2020 up until like late 2023. 2023, October, November was the first time I just started to kind of dip my toe in the nightlife and ever in life. Like I said many times before, I'm a slow late bloomer. So it's a lot of first. It's been a lot of first again and again since late 2023. And that was just like a few times at the end of the year. 2024, I started to come out more. Not consistently. There was still long periods where I didn't go out, and if I did, I would probably see one person. But that was not often at all. And there was but there was way more actually. I would say 2024 actually a lot more going out, a lot more exploring. And then come 2025, there's been a consistency. So last year was like the first time that I was starting to become consistent, and now 2025 I have been able to keep that consistency, and I really want to. Jupiter entering my 5th house is going to be an interesting time, and I'm excited for it. I'm already kind of feeling it already, because there were so many events I want to do this summer. So many different outdoor events in the city, and I have been wanting to do this for all my life. I've always wanted to go out and experience things and experience life and socialize, just know what it was like, because I grew up as a curious person but a sheltered person, so none of that I was never able to actualize it in my own reality. And now I'm getting to do that, and I'm like, this is what I wanted. I went to my first rooftop party on Monday, and I was just shy. I'm shy. Like I was by myself and I was dancing, but it's a lot. It's a lot of different energies at once, and in a big city, you're bound to just be around a lot of people. And I enjoyed it because of just the atmosphere. Everybody was friendly, everybody had just good vibes, good music, good vibes. Interior design was nice. I like a good interior design. I like the view was very nice. I'm gonna show some clips. And it was worth it because it was outside of my comfort zone, outside of what I'm used to. And at the same time, something I've always wanted to experience was just a rooftop party. So, and I'm gonna do it again this summer. There's gonna be many opportunities to go out again. And this time it just feels like it's the right time, only because I wasn't aware of where to look, what parties to look for, where to look. But this year has been opening the door for me to receive opportunities that are happening, opportunities of events that are happening. I never had the access to know what parties were happening before. And that's what also was a factor in the delay of this experience for me, because I just didn't know where to look. But now I have like these apps that help me, Dice and Partyful, and I didn't know they existed before. And Posh. And I just didn't know these existed before. And now I'm like, I have this, I just have this access to what's going on, what parties to go to. And you can kind of know, like, you can kind of feel like which are the ones to kind of like, that's going to be good. I feel like my senses are right. So I feel like this is the right time because of the access I didn't get before. And maybe that was meant to occur. Maybe I was not meant to actually go before in the past. And it wasn't my top priority at the time because the last couple years I just been trying to stay afloat, and I still am. But now that I have this access that I didn't have before, now it just feels like my desire to experience all this is validated and encouraged, because I don't think I would be receiving all these events if I'm not meant to experience it. So I just feel like I'm living through that experience I've always wanted for myself, and it just feels right. And I felt that ever since Monday. I'm like, wow, I felt that before in past experiences, past events, and it just feels right. It feels right to live. It just feels like I'm actually living, because I isolate so much the last couple years, all my life actually. Just repeating the same trauma, which would then turn into repeating the same reality. And so now that I'm like acting differently, behaving differently, I think that's also a way that I was able to attract these opportunities, because I started acting differently before I even knew these apps existed, and still didn't know how to, but I was still allowing myself to go out in 2024. And in late 2023, I was still able to just get myself outside my comfort zone. And I think that allowed Spirit to see that I was prepared to continue stepping into these new spaces, because I allowed myself to do that, allowed myself to be capable to do that. Even if it's by yourself, allow yourself to know that you're capable of experiencing it anyway. And I'm observing all these people, all these groups of friends, and just to see how rich it is to have a group of friends, to have groups of friends to go out with. If that is so rich, I think that's such that's it. Just wow. I believe that I will attract that for myself. It's been a long time coming, but I'm just like, wow, like you're living it. You're living life right there. You are. It just validates what you want for yourself. When you just do what you want to do for yourself. I don't know. It's just experiencing it rather than just having it in your mind. Just validates even more. It just you're just telling yourself like, yeah, you're just validating yourself in that way. And I don't look back in all these other years that I wasn't outside, but it just shows that life is happening. Life is just always happening. And I don't want to miss it anymore. It's been so long since I actually isolated for a long period of time, or just avoided people. It's been a while, and I don't see myself going back to it anymore. I feel like I've stepped away from that. I stepped away from some habits that was part of my life for a while, and now I'm just like, I want to live life. I want to be there. I want to be there. I want to be in the crowds, put myself out there, step out of my comfort zone, live differently than I did before. And we always have access to that. Believing in your dreams is a revolution. Believing in yourself is a revolution. Believing that you deserve an experience is a revolution. Being in the experience that I told myself I want to have shows to me that I'm deserving. And that's just something I felt recently, maybe about 2 months ago, when I experienced being out with like a group of people for the first time. It validated my desires, and it shows me that I am deserving of what I want. And so now even creating feels, it just boosts my creativity again, because it inspires me. Almost like being around people that see themselves, because I was around people that just had this confidence to them. So many girlies dressed up. I'm like, okay, yeah. And just, enjoying themselves being in their body. And that was inspiring. And that inspired me. And I put that video out one recently. And it just inspires what I put out myself. Our experiences, our environment can be inspiring us. And I definitely felt inspired. And I still do. And I think that's what I needed. I think I needed to be around that kind of energy. And I wasn't aware that it could help me so much. That putting myself out there and doing something that I don't normally do would help me that much. But I did. And I think it's because I was able to live through the experience I've always wanted to have. And that kind of is sometimes a ripple effect into what else we want for ourselves. It's a ripple effect to act in other ways of what we want to experience for ourselves. So now I'm like, okay, let me keep creating. Let me keep allowing myself to create, because that's an experience I want to have for myself. So I just feel like I'm proud to see things through, to see that experience through, not to be shy away from it, but do it anyway. Just like creating, doing it anyway. It's validating my own desires. And it shows me that I can think differently. I can have a different way of thinking, different thoughts. I can have that. Just knowing that I can is a different thought. That is the different thought itself. So it's a challenge too, because especially when you're by yourself and you do these social, and you're in these social spaces, because it could be uncomfortable, and it was. But I'm looking forward to just experiencing more of it, experiencing more of being outside, just being out, just outside. So I am more inspired to keep showing that, because because the world is happening outside of us, and I don't want any of us to like shy away or hide away from it. So this is for all of us to know that, I want to show that like life is happening outside of us, outside these walls. So I hope this encourages people to know that things are happening outside, to remember that, to be curious about it, you know, be curious about what's happening outside. And I just want to keep showing what's happening outside, because not only for my soul's evolution, but to document how I am showing up to life differently. Just to have proof, physical proof that I am acting differently. And that also encourages me to keep filming. And more intention. I'm going out a lot this weekend. So I'm going to document that and show more, with more intention, film it with more intention. Because I want to capture the moments of acting differently. And capturing the fun and pleasure of life. I can't believe it though. I can't believe that I'm here at this moment in life too. It's almost like, you know, you imagine all these like scenarios you want to have, and to know that it's like, oh, you're actually there. It's like a pat on the back, and I'm just proud that I got myself closer. There's so much uncertainty in my life right now. So much delays. But I'm closer to seeing some things right now than before. Living through some things that I didn't get to live through before. Just to have the autonomy that I've always wanted feels validated. Like, oh, finally, like, I always deserved that autonomy. I always deserved it. And if you grew up sheltered, you just, you know, sometimes it's like, just, that's all I wanted. And, you know, I didn't ask for much. I just wanted my own freedom. I'm not asking for much. As a kid, I'm not asking for much. Just let me be free with my decisions. And just to see other people being free with their own decisions of how they want to spend their time, it's like, good. I need to see that. I need to be around that. People being free to just do whatever they want to do. Something else too is because I've learned some lessons that I feel like are kind of sticky more than it was before. You know, because when you make mistakes and you have these certain habitual thoughts and patterns, it's just that we do over and over and over again and again. You have to end up doing it again and again because it's not sticking, you know. And Saturn, when it shows up in certain area of your life, it's like, okay, we're learning this time. We are learning this time. I'm gonna try to help you learn this lesson, okay? Don't fight it, guys, because it's not gonna benefit anybody. And these lessons I'm learning, I feel like it stuck to me. It stuck a bit more the other day, and I just surrendered to what I couldn't control. And in that surrendering, the next day, financial issue, resolved itself. The very next day, or the next, like 2 days after, like the day after. And I was like, wow. Because as I was surrendering and releasing and letting go on Monday of what I couldn't control, I did have this thought in my head. I was like, thinking to spirit, like, what are you trying to do now this time? I wonder I know you're seeing this. I know you see me wanting to change a bit differently, wanting to operate differently. So what's next? Like, what's going on right there in your head? If it was like, I imagine it that, I imagine it like that. I kind of imagine, spirit just looking at me, observing, like, okay, let me see if you learned. Let me see if you're gonna operate differently. And I'm looking at spirit like, okay, watch me. Just observe me. Go ahead, observe me. And then I let go. I surrendered. I was just like, I can't control what I can't do, what I'm not able to do right now. Let me just surrender to it and not have such a tight grip on like my feelings, of like even feelings of pity and sorrow and disappointment. Like, let me actually release those emotions too. So not just releasing the circumstance, but also releasing the emotions that come with it. Like, oh, this isn't, not only does this circumstance define me or limit my worthiness or my being at all, but these emotions also don't serve me. And let me let go and release all these emotions that don't serve me either, and just be like, you know what, just sit back, just be like, okay, I'm just gonna continue on my day without even thinking about the situation, without thinking about what I can't control. Let me not even think about that, and just be like, oh, just something that is not in my present moment right now. That's all. There's no ... There's just, that's it. It's just not in my present moment. Something that I can't do. I just can't do. That's it. It doesn't have to be, oh, I wish I could do it. I wish. It's like, no, that's just the reality of it. Settling in with the reality of it. And letting go of the expectations, but also the emotions that come with the circumstance. And so that's what I did. And the next day, this financial circumstance resolved itself. Because I was limited by my finances the other day. But now this financial situation resolved itself the next day, and I just let go of what I couldn't control, what I couldn't do because of my limited resources. And so I don't think that would have happened if I didn't surrender and just let it go. It's like we get rewarded when we are able to just let go. That's with a lot of things, right? That's with a lot of things. With relationships, with career, all these areas of life. Yeah, because it's not about being a good person, thinking positive. It's just about just letting things be as they are. Being neutral about things instead of positive or negative, just in the middle. A neutral state. And so these habits that harmed me for a long time, I feel like I'm actually settling in with the reality of things, with the reality of what I can and cannot do right now in this life. And that's okay too. Now I feel like it's okay without placing some veil of illusion in front of me, without romanticizing what life could be, without having expectations. It's more of a neutral state that I'm entering into. And I'll speak more on this as I progress on my journey, and I wanna highlight and like share, from my experience, so that way we can all like help each other with the complexities of life. That's what my channel is for. It's just to navigate life together and navigate the complexities of life together. Because there's a lot of duality in this life. There's a lot of contrast, a lot of gray area, and we need to be able to see things in a neutral state more in this life. Yeah. I just want to be out more. Just because that's been medicine. That is my medicine right now. Is socialization. Is being out. That's my medicine. Because I recognize it's outside my comfort zone. And I think outside my comfort zone, I wanna take a peek at it. That's how we grow. That's how we can welcome in new endeavors. We need to be uncomfortable. And maybe I can talk about that too more. That's why I kind of also want to share what I'm doing, because I do a lot of things that I'm not comfortable. Well, when it comes to being out, when it comes to socializing with my communication and talking to people, I like to just, I'm grateful to not hold too much social anxiety. I will talk to people if I want to. I'm reserved, but I will crack a joke and something like that to a stranger. But I just want to show that I just want to encourage more stepping outside of our comfort zone when it comes to people, so we can have a society that's more inclusive and not so sheltered away. So see what happens. See what happens when you do something that you don't normally do. See what happens. If nothing physically happens, something internally happens. If something externally doesn't happen, something internally can happen. A new insight, a new realization, a new self-love that you didn't know that you could tap into within yourself. It's nice to have plans and to have things on my calendar. I've always wanted. When I was sheltered or like isolating myself, which is like perpetuating this sheltered life that I had before. I was like sheltering myself after when I moved out. My mom's. It's like I perpetuated the sheltered life by isolating myself, but I didn't know I was doing that. Yeah. Showing the world I'm out there. Digitally, physically, externally. I am out there. Yeah, so I hope this has you pondering some questions of what you could be uncomfortable with, what you want to be uncomfortable with, what ways you want to be uncomfortable, what ways you want to be uncomfortable, or let me know. Maybe comment down below. It's uncomfortable even putting yourself out there, right? That's another way to be uncomfortable. Maybe be uncomfortable that way. People shy away from their uncomfortability, but that is a sign. When that discomfort comes in, that's a sign that you're doing something right. Yes. So if you're like, oh, I'm feeling uncomfortable, like, oh, this kind of feels uncomfortable. Not all the time. Maybe that's like actually a good warning for, us to be like keeping ourselves safe from like maybe some person that's not safe for us. But in some cases, that discomfort you feel, lean into that more. Lean into that. Thanks for coming and joining me on this little discussion on uncomfortability and stepping into new spaces. And that could also be uncomfortable, shifting our mindset too, shifting our patterns. And that's why I included how I shifted, not in detail of course, but I was just saying how even shifting mentally on a mental level can change our external circumstance.